Good morning everyone. This is Kailin Kamikawa. Lie like exhaling. This is a word that accurately expresses the state of the outer road that lie plainly without any confusion. It has been almost 10 years since the Great East Japan earthquake struck on March 11, 2011. Last time, I talked about the reaction of South Korea at that time. It is a fact that we received warm support, and we would like to express our sincere gratitude for that point. However, some people ridiculed the occurrence of the tsunami caused by the earthquake as the sinking of Japan. In a soccer game, such as hanging a banner saying, celebrating the earthquake, it's also about being rude. The Japanese can never forget it again. South Korea has a bad habit of doing such extremely rude acts easily, including in the media. Unless you repent, this point I don't think South Korea will ever become a decent nation. I would like to urge South Korea to take a hard look. Please devise such as legalize so that it will not be repeated again. Without such a device, the excuse such as some people are doing it is Koreans must understand that it no longer works. Breaking the national flag, standing the Statue of Peace here and there, stop telling lies that have no basis or evidence. Well, aside from that, against this unprecedented earthquake, Japan received warm support from all over the world. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to all the people around the world for the 10th anniversary of the earthquake. Among them, especially for Taiwan, from the day after the March 2011 earthquake, fundraising activities have been carried out in various places. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the amount of donations collected is more than 25 billion yen. The great support received from Taiwan, which has a population of about 23.5 million, which is less than one-fifth of Japan, it was used to rebuild houses and hospitals in the disaster areas of Japan and to support their livelihoods. Why did Taiwan send a huge amount of donations of over 20 billion yen to Japan immediately after the earthquake? I would like to introduce Mr. Ryoichi Kinoshita, a Japanese writer who has lived in Taiwan for 30 years. As Taiwanese people originally have, there is an idea of helping neighbors if they are in trouble. For example, during the Sumatra earthquake, around me there were some people who donated 20,000 to 30,000 yen in Japanese yen as a matter of course. From our point of view, it may be hard to understand, however, the amount of 20 billion yen is not so much collected. Regarding this, Mr. Kinoshita says that there are not a few elements that because the other party is Japan. I'm prefaced with something that can't be said unconditionally. Many Taiwanese have a good impression of Japan. If you have worked with Japanese people, including the quality of Japanese products, I respect that diligence. If you know the pre-war Japanese colonial era, I feel that I was very happy at that time, and I miss it. As for the younger generation, I have been accustomed to Japanese animation since I was a child. Japanese things are already one of our cultures. They feel closer to Japan than we think. And in 2011, an unprecedented earthquake struck Tohoku. There, the feeling of love for Japan and the idea of helping people who were originally in need intersected. It showed a big spread at once. Fundraising activities are carried out at schools, workplaces, convenience stores, government agencies, and everywhere in Taiwan. As a result, more than 20 billion yen was collected. Mr. Kinoshita, who was there, felt something like a kind of movement at that time. On the other hand, what is the impression of Taiwan for Japanese people? In the first place, the reason why Mr. Kinoshita tried to convey such a story is when he visited the disaster area, the local people wanted to know about Taiwan. What kind of country is Taiwan that sent such a large amount of donations? In fact, for many Japanese people, even if they know the name, Taiwan, they don't have a big image. Is banana famous if you give it a try? It's about. I myself live in Taiwan and I am not a victim of the disaster. There was a conflict with some people still suffering. Still, many locals and Japanese wanted to know about Taiwan, where they sent donations. Through Arigato Shie, Taiwan, which is small and probably not so large in population, how did you collect the donations? I wanted the Japanese people to know more about Taiwan, as much as 20 billion yen was sent from Taiwan to Japan. So how was Japan on the other hand? The story didn't end there. Japan has received warm support from all over the world. On April 11, 1 month after the earthquake, the Democratic Party of Japan government at that time the words of gratitude were published in major newspapers around the world such as the Wall Street Journal. However, countries that are not Taiwan were not included. However, the government may have government circumstances. According to one theory, this is a 1972 Japan-China joint statement. Taiwan is a region of China. It is said that the Japanese government took into consideration the Chinese side's claim at that time. Of course, there were many Japanese who were not convinced. I want to express my gratitude to the Taiwanese people. The Xie Taiwan plan started with a call from a Japanese female designer. Her Twitter tweets spread widely on the internet, collecting donations of about 20 million yen. She advertised in Taiwanese newspapers, United Daily News, and Liberty Times. Kinoshita says about writing this series of facts in the form of a novel. It's been 6 years since the earthquake. People's memories are easy to forget. This work spans 2 years and 3 months from coverage, collection of materials, conception to writing. I met more than 30 people in Japan and Taiwan, most of them are based on facts. By taking the form of a novel, it is not just a record, I want to keep it as a memory. Quote. It's a famous story, and as you all know, I dared to repeat and inform you. And don't forget, March 17, 2013, it is the secret of the miracle, Yenjin, bowing against WBC Taiwan. At WBC that year, there are some of the best Seoul games you should never forget. That was the Japan-Taiwan match that took place on March 8, 2013. It was Japan's strength and Japan's reversal drama that was driven to 2 outs in the 9th inning. However, Taiwan 9, who should have missed the victory at the last minute and was disappointed, after the match, it was never broadcast on terrestrial broadcasting. A certain behavior surprised the Japanese. For some reason, they form a circle on the mound and bow deeply toward the stand. And the flag raised by Taiwanese fans after the match the words, "Congratulations on Japan." Tens of thousands of Japanese people were excited by the humility and breathtaking sight. It was March 6, 2013, 2 years after the earthquake. One Japanese, from Tohoku, tweeted on Twitter, "WBC, Japan will have their first match in Taiwan. Those who go to see this match, please give me a banner or placard to thank Taiwan for its great support for the recent Great East Japan earthquake." Deepening the relationship of trust between Japan and Taiwan through WBC, please tell us that we really appreciate Taiwan. With the world's largest amount of donations of over 20 billion yen due to the earthquake, it was Taiwan that sent over 400 tons of relief supplies. Not only that, the day after the earthquake, earlier than anywhere else in the world, it was also Taiwan that sent the rescue team. Let's thank Taiwan. Twitter, which called for it 2 days before the WBC Japan-Taiwan match, quickly spread throughout Japan. And the development was not limited to Japan. The heart of the Japanese who tried to thank Taiwan the next day, it crosses the sea, is translated into Chinese and spread, and begins to move Taiwanese people. Even on the streets of Taiwan, that tweet was translated into Chinese by many people. The exchange that spread in this way, it will be featured in the Taiwanese media and will be known for many things. However, the Taiwanese players who had already arrived in Japan at this time do not know such excitement. WBC's match against Japan is too special for them. Baseball for Taiwan is a sport that has an inseparable connection with Japan. In the first place, baseball was introduced when Japan ruled Taiwan. There are currently 4 professional baseball teams in Taiwan called Professional Baseball League. In fact, many Japanese, such as coaches, and players, are making efforts to develop Taiwanese baseball. For Taiwanese baseball players, Japan is like a father who has always chased his back. Now the most popular sport in Taiwan, a sport called baseball that has been adopted as a pattern for banknotes. This WBC also has large public viewings held in various places. It was watched by 12 million people, more than half of the 23 million people. The video of the Tokyo Dome, which is shown in the international video, expresses gratitude to Taiwan for Japan. For Taiwan, it was the best stage to compete on the world stage with Japan, who taught baseball. On the day of the match, the stand was on Twitter's call, a colorful placard with the words, "Thank you for Taiwan." It's not 1 or 2. Taiwanese players who first noticed the existence of placards at the stadium. Meanwhile, the game that started will be a great game that will remain in the history of WBC. Taiwan, which took about a century to overcome the desperate pursuit of Taiwan, Japan stands in front of it. Even after 11:30 p.m., the match wasn't settled. Beyond the position of an enemy and an ally, the stadium will be united and a wave will occur at Tokyo Dome. And Japan greeted with 1 point behind 9 times 2 outs. Japan finally catches up with the tie. And Japan finally reversed in the next 10th inning. Behind the scenes, a Taiwanese player who finally shows head sliding like high school baseball. However, I couldn't reach the back I was chasing. But that didn't end the story. It is a scene that was not broadcast on Japanese terrestrial broadcasting. The Taiwanese national team players leave the bench behind the Japanese national team players who explode their joy. When they all head to the mound, they give a deep bow in all directions of the stand at 360 degrees. Japanese fans support us, who are not home grounds. I want to thank them. The audience will give generous applause to the figure. Thank you for your gratitude. That's how we were able to build a relationship that respects each other. That day we witnessed such a happy sight. Well, that's a good story. It was a story that I couldn't help but feel the strong bond between Japan and Taiwan. We would like to thank Taiwan once again. In comparison, every country is rude, such as raising a flag on the mound. Such a country is very disappointing. Lie like exhaling, the Japanese, and people all over the world, should never forget this word. Don't be fooled by Korean lies. That's all.